Naxalite Maoist Insurgency Timeline 2002. The People's War Group, PWG, intensified its attacks against politicians, police officers, and land and business owners in response to a July ban imposed on the group by the Andhra Pradesh government. The government responded by tightening security, allegedly ordering attacks on suspected PWG members by state police and the Green Tigers. Police forces continued to have virtual impunity for the killing of PWG rebels during police encounters. The Maoist Communist Center rebels intensified their armed campaign against Indian security forces following the killing of their leader by police in December. An estimated 140 people were killed in fighting between the PWG and government forces throughout the year. According to government reports, 482 people have died during the conflict that year. 2003. The conflict in Andhra Pradesh intensified as Naxalite rebel groups, in particular the PWG, continued guerrilla attacks on police and government targets while the security forces stepped up counterinsurgency efforts. An October assassination attempt on Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu was consistent with the PWG's practice of targeting government officials to draw attention to their cause. According to independent media reports, as many as 500 people were killed in the conflict this year, half of these Maoist rebels. 2004. Sporadic, low-intensity fighting between the PWG and government forces continued for most of the year. Attacks on police and TDP party officials, believed to be carried out by the PWG, accounted for most major incidents and deaths. A three-month ceasefire, announced in late June, led to failed negotiations between the government and the PWG. A few days into the ceasefire, an attack attributed to the PWG placed the ceasefire in jeopardy. More than 500 people were killed in sporadic, low-intensity fighting, a reduction from previous years. Most victims were members of the police forces or the Telugu Desam Party, a regional political party. 2005. Violent clashes between Maoist rebels and state security forces and paramilitary groups increased following the breakdown of peace talks between the PWG and the state government of Andhra Pradesh. Rebels continued to employ a wide range of low-intensity guerrilla tactics against government institutions, officials, security forces and paramilitary groups. For the first time in recent years, Maoist rebels launched two large-scale attacks against urban government targets. Fighting was reported in 12 states covering most of South, Central and North India with the exception of India's northeast and northwest. More than 700 people were reported killed this year in violent clashes. Over one-third of those killed were civilians. 2006. Maoist attacks continued, primarily on government and police targets. Civilians were also affected in landmine attacks affecting railway cars and truck convoys. Clashes between state police and rebels also resulted in deaths of members of both parties, and civilians that were caught in the firing. Fighting differs from state to state, depending on security and police force responses. In the state of Andhra Pradesh, security forces have been somewhat successful in maintaining control and combating Maoist rebels. The other state that is most affected, Chhattisgarh, has seen an increase in violence between Maoist rebels and villagers who are supported by the government. In 2006, 500 to 750 people were estimated killed, fewer than half Naxalites, and approximately one-third civilians. 2007. Fighting continued between Naxalite Maoists and government security forces throughout the year. The majority of hostilities took place in Chhattisgarh, which turned especially deadly when over 400 Naxalites attacked a Chhattisgarh police station, seizing arms and killing dozens. In November 2007, reports emerged that anti-SEZ, Special Economic Zone, movements such as the Bhumi Uchcht Pratirad Committee in Nandagram in West Bengal, which arose after the land appropriation and human displacement following the SEZ Act of 2005, have joined forces with the Naxalites since February to keep the police out. Recently, police found weapons belonging to Maoists near Nandagram. Civilians were forced to choose between joining the Maoist insurgents or supporting the Salwa Judum and faced coercion from both sides. According to news reports, This conflict resulted in 650 deaths during 2007, of these 240 were civilians, 218 security personnel and 192 militants. 2008. Civilians were most affected in the ongoing fighting between Maoist rebels and government security forces. Of the 16 states touched by this conflict, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand were the most affected. One positive note for Chhattisgarh was that fatalities, although still high, were significantly down from 2007. Similarly, Andhra Pradesh, the state with the most Maoist activity a few years ago, has improved security with a corresponding drop in fatality rates. Unfortunately, as conditions have improved in Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh, the Maoist forces seem to have shifted their operations to the state of Orissa where conditions have worsened. South Asia Terrorism Portal's fatality count across the 6 states that saw the majority of the fighting, Bihar, Orissa, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, and Andhra Pradesh, was 794. This included 399 civilians, 221 security force personnel and 174 insurgents. 2009. In 2009, Naxalites were active across approximately 180 districts in 10 states of India. In September 2009, India's Prime Minister Manmohan Singh admitted that the Maoists had growing appeal among a large section of Indian society, including tribal communities, the rural poor as well as sections of the intelligentsia and the youth. He added that dealing with left-wing extremism requires a nuanced strategy, a holistic approach. It cannot be treated simply as a law and order problem. In the first half of 2009, 56 Maoist attacks were reported. The South Asia Terrorism Portal reported 998 killed in the conflict, 392 civilians, 312 security forces and 294 rebels. 2010. During February 2010, the Seal-de-Camp attack killed 24 paramilitary personnel of the Eastern Frontier Rifles in an operation the guerrillas stated was the beginning of Operation Peace Hunt, the Maoist answer to the government Operation Green Hunt that was recently launched against them. According to Crisis Watch and various news sources, between 500 and 600 people were killed this year. Of those killed, approximately 366 were civilians, 188 were government troops, including police, and 27 were Naxalites. According to South Asia Terrorism Portal and government sources, over 1,000 deaths occurred in the conflict this year. This includes 277 security forces, 277 Naxalites, and more than 600 civilian. On April 6, 2010, Naxalite rebels killed 76, consisting of 74 paramilitary personnel of the CRPF and 2 policemen. 50 others were wounded in the series of attacks on security convoys in Dantewada district in the central Indian state of Chhattisgarh. The attack resulted in the biggest loss of life security forces have suffered since launching a large-scale offensive against the rebels. On 17 May, a Naxalite landmine destroyed a bus in Dantewada district, killing up to 44 people including several special police officers, SPOs, and civilians. On May 28, 2010, the derailment of a Kolkata-Mumbai night train killed at least 150 persons. Police alleged that Maoists had caused the derailment by removing a short, 46 centimeters or 1.5 foot, piece of track, but the Maoists denied this. On June 29, 2010, at least 26 policemen are killed in a Maoist attack in the central Indian state of Chhattisgarh. On August 29, 2010, a joint team of BSF and district police was attacked by the rebels in Pusky village, Chhattisgarh, under Durg Kandal police station in the district while they were conducting routine search operations in the wee hours. Following the attack, the forces retaliated and in the action they lost 5 security personnel, including 3 BSF Jawans. On 29 August 30, 2010, rebels ambushed a joint paramilitary police team in Bihar, killing 10, wounding 10 more, taking 4 prisoners and robbing more than 35 automatic rifles from the state forces. The Naxalites later freed 3 of the policemen after Naxal leader Kishanji met with worried family members. On September 12, 2010, Naxalites killed 3 policemen and took 4 more hostage in an ambush in Chhattisgarh. The 4 policemen were later released without conditions after Naxal leaders listened to the appeals of family members. The freed policemen also promised the Naxals to never take up arms against the insurgency again. On October 5, 2010, rebels killed 4 police officers as they were on their way to a market in Maharashtra. On October 7, 2010, Naxalites attempted derailment of Triveni Express, a train of Singrauli-Bareilly route, by removing 4 fish plates and 42 sleeper clips. On October 8, 2010, Naxalites triggered a landmine in the border area between Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra. The attack killed 3 Indo-Tibetan Border Police, ITBP, Jawans, wounded 2 more and destroyed a military jeep. 2011. During May 2011, Naxalites killed and dismembered 10 policemen, including 1 senior officer in the Garayaband, Chhattisgarh area on the border with Orissa. In June, the total fatalities of both the police and the paramilitary was 43. On July 21, 2011, Maoist rebels in the central Indian state of Chhattisgarh blew up a bridge, killing 4 people and wounding 5 others. The attack happened when the Congress party chief of the state, Nand Patel, was returning from a party function. Despite the continued violence in 2011, the most recent central government campaign to contain and reduce the militant Naxalite presence appears to be having some success. The 2011 toll of 447 civilians and 142 security personnel killed having been nearly 50% lower than the 2010 toll. Some states experiencing this sharp reduction in Naxalite hostilities, such as Madhya Pradesh, attribute their success to their use of IAP funds for rural development. 2012. In mid-March, Maoist rebels kidnapped 2 Italians in Orissa. They later released one, while the government of Orissa negotiated for the release of the second. The Maoists released the second hostage in the middle of April. The member of the Legislative Assembly MLA of Laxmipur constituency, Orissa, Janhika, was abducted by the Maoists in March, who demand the release of 30 Maoist cadres, presently in jail, in exchange for the freedom of the MLA. The Orissa government is negotiating with the cadres with the help of arbitrators to free the MLA. On March 27, 2012, an explosion blamed on Maoists killed 15 Indian policemen in Maharashtra. 2013. The 2013 Naxal attack in Darba Valley resulted in the deaths of around 24 Indian National Congress leaders, including the former State Minister Mahendra Karma and the Chhattisgarh Congress chief Nand Patel. 2014. February 28, 2014, 6 police personnel, including a SHO, killed in Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh. March 11, 2014, 15 security personnel and 1 civilian were killed in Chhattisgarh Naxal attack in Tungpal village, close to the Darba Ghat area, of Sukma district in South Chhattisgarh, while they were engaged in a road opening exercise in the area. May 11, 2014. 7 police commandos killed in a Maoist landmine blast in the forests of Gadchiroli district of Maharashtra. 2015. April 11, 2015, 7 Special Task Force, STF, personnel were killed in a Maoist ambush near Kankarlanka, Sukma, Chhattisgarh. April 12, 2015, 1 BSF Jawan was killed in a Maoist attack near Banda, Kankar, Chhattisgarh. April 13, 2015, 5 Chhattisgarh Armed Force, CAF, Jawans were killed in a Maoist ambush near Karanjul, Dantewada, Chhattisgarh. 2016. March 3, 2016, an encounter occurred in between Cobra Commandos and Naxals in Sukma district, during which 03 commandos martyred and heavy losses to Naxals were reported. March 30, 2016, 7 CRPF Jawans were killed in Dantewada attack by Naxalites. 2017. March 22, 2017, 6 suspected Maoists were killed in a gunfight with security forces in Dantewada district of Chhattisgarh. April 24, 2017, 25 CRPF Jawans were killed in Sukma, Chhattisgarh, in an attack by Maoists. 2018. March 13, 2018, 2018 Sukma attack, 9 CRPF personnel were killed in Sukma, Chhattisgarh after their mine-protected vehicle, MPV, was blown up by Maoists. April 24, 2018, 34 militants were killed by Indian authorities in central India.